Hey now, today I am going to be inoculating a yeast starter vial in preparation to make a yeast starter for homebrewing a Belgian Saison. So I'm just going to show you everything I've got here. First of all, I've got my all my yeast slants. This is the one that I'm dealing. This is the one that I'm dealing with today. This is Brewtech CL380. I've got it on slant here. And that is going to be grown up into a 4-liter starter to inoculate two 5-gallon carboys. I've got a Bunsen burner here that I picked up online, propane canister, so I've got that set up. I've got an inoculation loop, and I just currently have that sitting in isopropyl alcohol. I've got a lighter, obviously, for the Bunsen burner, some hand sanitizer, as well as a dust mask, just so that if I'm breathing or anything, it's not blowing air at the at anything that I'm doing here. Yeah, so just give me a sec and I will show this in action. Alright, so I'm all masked up here. I'm just going to sanitize my hands. I used to wear like vinyl gloves for this process because it seemed like it was a little bit more sanitary or whatever. And then I would wind up like sanitizing them anyway, but all of that kind of seems like a bit of a waste of time now. This works just fine. So my first step here is just to heat sterilize my inoculation loop. Okay, and everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be done right in close proximity to this Bunsen burner. So the Bunsen burner serves two purposes. First of all, to sterilize this loop, as well as to create an updraft so that anything that I'm working with around here, it's not going to have bacteria falling on dust or anything into what I'm doing. So this is my going to be my starter vial. This is 1.020 wort that was just made with dried malt extract and then pressure canned. I make a whole bunch of these at a time, like 40 or 50 of them at a time, and then I only have to do it like once or twice a year. And then of course my slant here. Now the slant I've already kind of pre-opened a little bit, so it's not sealed tight. I normally have vinyl tape around them just to help prevent them from drying out. So if I'm doing a whole bunch of these in between uses, I just keep my loop in that isopropyl alcohol, again just to keep it sterilized. I'm just going to quickly reheat this, and once I've got this hot and I put it into the slant vial here, you're going to see that I'm going to be running it up along the top part of the glass. I'm not touching the yeast yet because this is still freaking hot and I don't want it to wind up accidentally killing the yeast. So there we go. Alright, just gonna heat that up. I'm gonna run this along there, like I said, cool it down for a few seconds. Cool it down for a few seconds, doesn't take very long. Then just gonna snag up some of this, get a nice little glob. There we go. Bring it out, just a really quick reburn on that to heat that up, keeping the yeast reasonably close, but not too close to heat it up. Just mix that Bunsen burner. Again, flaming the opening of this starter vial. Yeast goes in very carefully, depth perception is very important, and then I just kind of shake it around, make sure that that yeast makes it off, and then it's in the wort, reflame, and close. At this point I'll just set that down. I'll quickly just clean off this loop with some flame. Very nice, and then it can just go back into the isopropyl alcohol. Since I'm done with everything here, I'm just going to turn off the Bunsen burner, and then I'm just going to shake this up really quickly. I find when I shake them like this, it actually kind of creates a little vortex in there. Mix it up. I did this prior to starting this whole process too, just to kind of help pre-aerate the wort in the vial. Now that that is all nicely mixed up, I'm just going to crack it so that it's open, so that it can still receive oxygen and whatnot. This one vial is going to go back in there. I'll retape that in a bit. I have my incubator here set up. It's already at 80 Fahrenheit. I'm just going to put this in here and give it approximately 24 hours, and in that time it'll be ready for the next step, wherein I wind up adding it to, if I'm just doing a 2-liter starter, that'll go into 200 mils of 1040 wort, and then that'll get stepped up into a total of 2,000 mils for the 2-liter. This one is actually going to be part of a 4-liter pitch. So I'm going to go into slightly smaller increments. I'll do it into 200 mils, and then into 1300 for a total of 1500, and then that 1500 will go into 2500 for a total of 4000. And I find that that actually doesn't take too much longer, maybe a few hours longer than doing the 2000 mil pitch, just because the slightly smaller step from 200 to 1500 grows super quickly, and when you dump that into the 2500, it takes off almost immediately. So yeah, that's how I inoculate a starter vial for a homebrew yeast pitch. Yeah, keep her at 11.